Hi, my name's Baron. I'm the Managing Director of Tiny Temple, and this decking video has been made in partnership with ASHS. Here's homegrown larch, which is a species that we use for decking. It's a naturally durable timber. It's sourced from well-managed forests in Scotland locally, making it quite a sustainable, environmentally friendly choice. Scottish larch naturally has a pinky brown colour that with exposure to the sun will fade to a silvery grey. We can apply treatments that make the timber go an even shade of grey, even if you've got a soffit or an overhang. Scottish larch doesn't require any treatment beyond just being installed as it is. You might have to annually or every few years remove algae and some green, especially if you're near trees, but doesn't require any further maintenance. Here you can see heartwood versus sapwood. Sapwood is non-durable as it's naturally high in sugar and a lot of moisture. The sapwood carries the water up and down the tree and it's a living part of the tree. The heartwood is a sort of dead part that's just become solid, more dense timber that's naturally durable. So we try our best to cut all the sapwood out of the side that's going to be on the face. If exposed to a lot of moisture in an area that can't dry out, turn a kind of mouldy blue colour, dark blue. Maybe you've seen that where larch has been used but it hasn't been graded effectively. It doesn't look very good and it's difficult to fix. If you do have timber that's got sapwood in it that's already been installed and it's gone a bit blue, the best thing I could advise is to sand it back and apply something like a UV oil which has a biocide in it. Larch also contains natural tannins in the wood which would react with steel or metal filings, similar to with oak. So if you do get like shavings from metal or anything, or steel in contact with larch, it gives this kind of blue dark stain. The only way to remove that is with oxalic acid. That gets rubbed onto the area and it removes it very well. Sometimes you might notice, there's like an area next to where a railing's been installed and you'll see loads of black spots and you don't know where it's come from. Oxalic acid works miracles in getting rid of it. The timber starts off comes to us as a 150 by 32mm thick, and we plane it down to 142 wide by 28mm thick. The planing smooths the timber, gets rid of all the splinters so you can walk on the decking barefoot. It also straightens the lengths so it removes any deviation in the bow or the cup, giving you more accurate straight lines in the decking. So for making our Scottish larch decking, we start with a 150 by 32mm thick board and we machine it down to 142 by 28mm. Blurring the lines. If I could be there to color the light, to find the feeling, that feeling. So when you're fitting the decking boards, you want to work out where the centre of the board is. Luckily, the width of this ruler, this sliding square, is about half the width of the joist. So if I mark up the joist here, make a mark on the decking board, set how far in I want to make the screw, and line it up here in line with the edge of the decking board, and make a mark on the corner. That'll be consistent for each board now as I work my way along the joist, installing all the decking boards. And you can get the same depth from the other side, and it's equidistant. Here the board on the face of the decking is a little bit further in past, so to catch the joist, this screw probably needs to be closer to the center. I always recommend using stainless steel screws over any galvanized or just normal screws. Decking screws that come with a sort of green coating, they can cause bleed lines in Larch, so stainless steel would be the number one kind of preference. Would recommend going about 2.5 times the thickness of your material with the length of the screw. So this 28mm decking board, I've gone for an 80mm screw. You can see the part thread. The part thread goes through pretty much all the wood, allowing it to pull in really tightly, and then the thread will just go straight into the joist. Also recommend always finishing the screw flush with the surface of the decking board. For spacing out each decking board, you probably want to go between 5 and 7mm apart. I've got this spacer packer here, which is 5mm thick. You just want to put it between the boards over the joist and push it up, and that'll give you spacing for each board. As you've done a few boards, you want to measure from the end of the deck and make sure that they're all consistently moving along and it's not starting to go at an angle. So you can get a few with the spacer, but then you can just double check how it's all going overall every 5 or 10 boards, and make small adjustments as necessary. Maybe you need to have like a mil less on one side if it's starting to, you know, creep up at one side more than the other. So spacer in there, marking up from the joist in the top of the decking board. That's given us the center here, and then 30mm from the end. I want to pre-drill my hole to make sure that the head of the decking screw is countersunk. And then finish the stainless screw flush with the surface of the decking. Like that. I'll do all one side, and then I'll draw a line between them all and measure 30mm off the other side, and then finish off all the other screws.